we have a comment from the real Som 2, who says Tiffany Stratton became boring after losing to Charlotte Flair. If Charlotte won, she would have been so hated that Tiffany eventually dethroning her at SummerSlam or Evolution would have been so good. What are your thoughts, Clark?
I don't know. Tiffany Stratton needs a dance partner, and Charlotte Flair wasn't necessarily the best one. I think what Charlotte's done since makes more sense for Charlotte's return. I don't blame Tiffany Stratton. I think Tiffany Stratton as a performer is immensely entertaining, and she's a really quality talent as far as charisma and all of that is concerned. Tiffany just needs a dance partner, somebody opposite her to bring the best out of her, a real rivalry coming up in the near future, and we can absolutely fix that. And I agree with Calf Cascade here in the comments, like, not Nia Jax again. We did that before. It's not now. Now is not the time. Just somebody else. And I'm not 100% sure who that is. So I'd be more inclined to blame the idea that she doesn't have a next step perfectly logically than I would to blame Tiffany Stratton as a talent herself for it being a little bit wishy-washy since the Charlotte stuff.
Well, you know, Clark, I hate to agree with you, but on this case, I kind of do just completely agree with you. I mean, it's not, you know, I think that would have been a bad idea purely because, again, Charlotte needed something different. Charlotte was not over. It was not heat. It was go-away heat. The two blatantly did not like each other. The feud was awkward. It was bad to watch. I mean, they both needed to get out of that feud as quickly as possible.
Right.
They did. And for Charlotte, it has been just fantastic things since then. But for Tiffany, she, you know, to number one Superfly's comment, Tiffy's reign has been boring due to the booking. She's slowly just appearing backstage now, just like Io's previous reign, and most of her feuds have been against Nia Jax. It's not Tiffany's fault, it's the booker's fault. It's a joke at this point. It really is.
It is, 100%.
It is.
I like this idea from Chris Leclerc. I just don't think it's in the near future. Heel Bayley versus Tiffany Stratton. I think Bayley could get the absolute best out of Tiffany Stratton.
I agree.
Of anybody on the roster. I think Bayley could get the absolute best out of Tiffany Stratton in a rivalry. I think they could make it magic.
I want to pitch another name.
I think Bayley over Becky in that scenario. I think Bayley's a better fit for this one.
No, you're good. That's exactly what I was going to say. We had the same mindset, yeah.
I like the idea of Becky too. Becky would be next on the list. I think Bayley is the answer to the question, though.
Yeah, I mean, look, I definitely would not complain about seeing it at all. Live Life Empire says they need to bring someone up from NXT to do a story with Tiffany. I'd love that, but the issue is Tiffy is still a little bit green in some areas, and so would that person, and so would be that person from NXT.
I think the only option, if you're actually looking at that roster right this second, would be Jordan Grace. Because of the veteran influence. So if you were going to dive into NXT, it's Jordan Grace, but I do disagree with anybody from NXT. No. Like to Ben's point, you need somebody that can lead a little bit in the ring as a veteran, 100%. Booking against Tiffy right now.
Yeah, I mean, Kafka's case saying Tiffy is doing whatever she's given. If you don't give her great storylines, opponents, and time, you can't expect her to have a great reign. You're bang on correct there. And when she does get given time, she usually, unless it's with Charlotte Flair, does deliver. DCX Warlords is Tiffany versus Michin or Chelsea Green. I like both of those, but again, Michin and especially Michin doesn't really have the momentum behind her right now. She's just in a loop. She's in that endless loop of people who challenge for the US title, lose.
Also, Michin doesn't feel like a legitimate threat to Tiffany Stratton.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I agree.
And these other two comments to address. Lash Legend, I gave my Wrestler of the Week to on my list.
No, standout of the week.
Standout. I apologize. Standout of the week, Lash Legend. I love you, DCX Warlord, but dude, not now. Not yet. Because the last thing I want, and this is another one from Chris Leclerc, Jada Parker, I don't then want to show up on the Monday after and have to talk about how the match was sloppy. So don't do that to me. Don't do that to me. Because I think all three of those performers, Tiffany Stratton, Lash Legend, and Jada Parker, have the brightest of futures. But we need proper dance partners in this situation.
The issue which they have, especially on SmackDown right now, and I'm saying this despite the fact I think Julia is one of the best wrestlers in the world, but when it comes to the American style, she's obviously still learning because that is a big transition, right? So over on SmackDown, you have two key positions being filled by, relative newcomers, and that's not a bad thing, but it does mean that no newcomers can immediately really go into that title position because you do have to pair experience with newcomers to really find a good balance. And that's what they're not really doing right now.
100%.
I agree.
But Shard says SmackDown's women's division is weak right now. I mean, you're not lying.
He's
the
right.
booking of it, at least.
That's fair. The booking of it, I can attest to that. There's talent there. That's what I was actually going to mention was I feel like what if you put Tiffy, not on Raw, but what if you have a draft, you have some wrestlers on Raw, like a Becky, like a Stephanie. Yeah. But we already pitched it, and I agree with it. I want to add one more thing. This has nothing to do with the her future opponent, but what if they did this? What if they have Blake Monroe and Tiffany Stratton in a heel tag team?
It's too similar. Maybe down the line, maybe in like 2 years.
Did you see yesterday's show, Des? Not that jobber.
Yeah, not that jobber, yeah. But
don't pair them with that jobber.
I feel like in like a year or two, I think that would be a great idea.
Not Blake Monroe, not that jobber.
In a year or two, I can definitely see it. And again, a draft is the answer to everything. Like I said on Allison Analysis, if you guys haven't checked out Saturday's episode, I just went off on one. A draft is the answer to 99% of the problems in WWE right now, but for whatever reason, they're not doing one.